The greatest fishing lure ever invented. That sounds like kind of an outrageous claim. Maybe it is. But I'm here to tell you that the class of lures that I'm going to talk about today, if they are not the greatest fishing lure ever invented, they're certainly in the top three, and by far they are the most versatile class of fishing lures ever invented. I've fished all over North America for the last 45 years, and I've thrown a lot of different baits at a lot of different fish. And I can tell you that there is no other class of baits that catches more different species of fish in more different places under more different conditions and even any time of the year than this one. Today, we're talking about lipless crankbaits. Now, I'm not going to talk about any particular brand of lipless crankbait. They all pretty much do the same thing. The one that's been tied on the most for me lately is one of the newest in the lipless crankbait line, and it's from Berkley, and it's called the War Pig. All lipless crankbaits have a general football-shaped profile. They're thin baits, which allows them to vibrate very quickly, and then they don't have the typical plastic lip that a deeper diving crankbait is going to have. The nose itself on a lipless crankbait is what provides the action on the bait. Almost all lipless crankbaits have rattles to give them lots of sound, and because of the speed of the vibration, how fast they move, they give off a ton of flash, a ton of sound, and they're extraordinarily versatile. You can crank them slow, you can yo-yo them, you can jig them vertically, or you can rip them really super fast. And I'm telling you, when one of these comes by, there isn't a fish that swims that can resist eating it.
The default way to fish a lipless crank is on a steady, straight retrieve, imitating a fleeing bait fish. It's an ideal search tool when working new water or large flats and points. You can cover a ton of water very quickly.
There we go. Nice fish.
It isn't a weedless bait by any means, but it is better in the weeds than a regular crankbait. And in fact, I try to contact as many weeds as possible, because ripping a lipless crank loose from a weed will trigger lots of bites. But it's the versatility that makes this bait special. I can fish it fast and high in less than a foot of water, or I can let it sink and yo-yo it off the bottom and contact fish 15, 20, or more feet deep. It's even a deadly vertical jigging tool, both in open water and under the ice. A couple of winters ago, we were on Giant Lake Winnipeg with members of FM Walleyes Unlimited and got an eye-opening lesson in using lipless cranks through the ice.
So that's kind of on the smaller side of what we're looking for. We're looking for some of those big girls that go anywhere from 28 to 30 inches, but that's not a bad start for the morning. So I just saw a little mark on the Vexilar, and she came in and I just jigged it a little bit using a live target here. Just a little bit different that we do up here up in Lake Winnipeg. We use some lipless crankbaits to catch big giant walleyes on Lake Winnipeg. So we'll let this one go. All right.
When we're up here, since it's such a featureless basin and these fish are roaming around all over the place, we need to use large, loud, bright, flashy baits to try and track them in from long ways. You know, one of the things that I'm using here, which is very, very popular up here, is a rattle bait. They're used for bass fishing. And this one is actually, it gives you everything. It gives you the rattle and the size, but it's also gives you the color with this orange or the pink and white on it. It gives you a lot of flash, and a lot of sound with the rattle. So what that'll do is it'll bring the fish in from a long ways. And a 10-pound walleye won't even think twice about engulfing this. A lot of those big fish you catch, this will be so far down their throat that you can hardly even see it.
Looks like a good mark down there.
Talk to me.
Got a good one on here. Got a little head shake. Can you move the transmitter for me, please? Woo-hoo-hoo!
And the other nice thing about the lipless crankbait is you can get them in a variety of sizes to target multiple species of fish. Now this is the 1/2 ounce war pig, and I'll throw that for bass, northerns, very general use. But you can drop way down. This is a Rapala Klacken Rap. I believe this is the 6 size. Much smaller, very good for crappies and other panfish. And then the Bill Norman Rattle Trap, also in a small micro size, excellent for panfish. Or you can crank them all the way up. This is the Rapala Klacken Rap 08, a great big heavy guy. This is good for big pike. Even muskies love chasing these down.
From bluegills and crappies to bass, pike, muskies, and walleyes, and even saltwater species like redfish or snook. All of them have eaten and will eat a lipless crankbait under any conditions and all year round.
There's another one. There's another one on the war bait. Come on. Ooh, good fish. Good fish. Yes. I tell you what, greatest lure that was ever made, I don't know. But this much I can tell you. If I ever simply must catch a fish, no matter where I am, the very first bait I'm going to tie on is a lipless crank.